Welcome to another episode of Ikezy Talks, and I remain your humble host, Ikezy. And as you can see, once again, I am smiling, as every Arsenal fan should this weekend, right? It doesn't matter what Man City even plays tomorrow, what Man City Liverpool, whatever the outcome of that game is tomorrow, we are 9 points clear right now. And tomorrow, you could remain 9 or 8 or back to 6, right? And we're in such a good position, with I think is it 13 games or 14 games left to play in the Premier League. Anyways, if I go down into the analysis, please, if you're watching this for the first time, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the way that you can support me, and also the way that you can, get notified whenever I drop new content, which is going to happen. I'm going to be dropping a variety of content. I have very interesting guests that I want to be bringing on the show, on the podcast, and we'll be talking about various things. Also, you can like and also comment your thoughts at the end of the video. So yeah, back to the game. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. I said it in the pre-match, or in the clip that I released on social media, that this game was very important for Arsenal. We needed to win this game. Honestly, for me, from a fan point of view, there was no other result that I would have accepted aside from a win. For two reasons. The first reason being that Man City is going to Anfield, tomorrow. So, and for that reason, we need to put pressure on them, right? Liverpool also have something to play for. They are trying to qualify for the Champions League places, and it looks like Manchester United is ahead of them in that regard. So they want to keep up the pace. They need the 3 points. Man City also want to keep up the pace with us. They need the 3 points. So it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. We needed to win to put the pressure on Man City and then to further the gap. Secondly, it is Sunderland. In the reverse fixture, when we went to the Stadium of Light, it was a very difficult game, right? Yes, we could have won that game. I think it was going to be like 2-1, and then we considered that last minute goal, I think in the 93rd minute or thereabouts, which was gut punching. But that game taught me something. Sunderland, they are extremely physical. Extremely physical. They are very, very physical. And if you can match them physically, that's the first bit. We have superior technical players than they have. And I always knew that if we're able to match them physically, we're going to get the job done against them, right? I didn't want the repeat of the reverse fixture. We needed to win, right? So for those two reasons, I think the boys delivered a very good performance, right? It was not your typical Arsenal come, dominates, and control the game. The opponent sits in the low block. And I honestly... I commend Sunderland for doing that. They're not intimidated. They come to play. They come to play football, and that is what we love to see, right? But we all know what happens whenever a team comes out to play football against Arsenal. This team is built to soak in or thrive in all phases of play. Counter-attacking, transition, low block, deep block, defending, mid block, you coming out to play, you setting up the low block, we use set pieces to open up the game. This team is well-rounded. So it doesn't matter the type of, game you want to play. The chances that you beat us would oftentimes rely on moments of individual brilliance. And that was what Manchester United used, to beat us at the Emirates the other day. So I always knew that Sunderland were going to come out to play. It was going to be a difficult game for them because it's going to be hard for them to score, right? And then we can always bank on, those transitional moments or catch them, because they just can't match us quality for quality, So if you're going bar for bar. Anyways, I just want to I want to give credit to all the players. Every single one turned up today. It was a physical battle with Saliba and Bobry, and I think he did well, right? Saliba is not that, he's very bougie in the way he defends, but he stood up to the task. He gave a Gabriel Magalhaes type of performance today, and I really love that about his performance. Every other person, I think the only person that did not really play so well today was Calafiori. I think he was a little bit shaky on the ball. He gave the ball away a couple of times. Something about maybe his head was not in the game, and Arteta was right to sub him out and put in Kapi, right? I thought that Gabriel Jesus did well. Judging by the game state in which he played in, I thought that he did well. Kai Havertz. See, I've said it. I said it before in previous podcasts, in the previous episodes. I'm going to say it again. Kai Havertz is the wildcard of this team, right? In playing that Odegaard role, it does something different that Odegaard doesn't do, right? It does something different that even Eze doesn't do, right? Kai Havertz is he has that athleticism that Odegaard doesn't have, that Eze doesn't have. He will run, he will win aerial duels, he will make late runs into the box, and he will not hold on to the ball. Right? Every time he gets the ball, he's looking for the pass. See the goal that the penalty that Gabriel Jesus could have won, where he immediately got the ball in the afternoon, he just slotted it to Gabriel Jesus. If Gabriel Jesus had timed his run a little bit better, that would have been a penalty, right? See the goal that he gave, the assist he gave Gyökeres. He got the ball once, he passed the ball. It's that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate things. If you thrive, if you do well, if you do the simple things well enough, that's just basically what it is. You do the simple things well enough, you get results. And I'm really happy for Gyökeres. I've always said it. See, if you dig back to my videos, I said two things. When Kai Havertz came, I said, playing Kai Havertz and Gyökeres is a master stroke. Those two are going to thrive. They are going to thrive. I see Kai Havertz always looking for Gyökeres because he knows, that Kai Havertz is just more direct, just quote and unquote. Secondly, I said, sometimes in certain games, it's always better to bring in Gyökeres from the bench. You know why? In games, especially when we're leading 1-0, we're comfortable. Sunderland looked like they needed the goal. And then, the defenders were already getting tired legs at the back. Obviously, they are trying to, press us. We're at home. We have the fans backing us. The game is always going to get transitional at that point in time. Bringing in Gyökeres and Martinelli was a master stroke from Arteta. That was a tactical master stroke, right? Because now you can now play on that transitional moment. And that was what happened for the third goal. If you see what Martinelli did, they couldn't cope with the pace of those two. The pace and the physicality of those two, they couldn't cope, and that was what you did in the result, right? Same with the second goal that we scored, Gyökeres. Beautiful play from Trossard, right? It was beautiful, and then Carver just slotting it to him one time, and then him scoring it. It was really good to see, honestly, and that's what I want to see. That's what I want to continue to see from this team. I would also mention Declan Rice. There is no Arsenal game in this running, especially since the beginning of January, that I have not seen Declan Rice give a captain's performance. Is very key. A lot of what he does, you might not see it because you're so engrossed with how the game is being played. You're following the ball year to year. You are not. If you take a minute and look at Declan Rice, take a minute away from the ball and look at what Declan Rice is doing. He's organizing. He's doing like this to his teammates. He's setting the tone. He's telling players, "Oh yeah, you go here, you go here." He's being the first person to lead the press, initiate the press, cleaning up. When Calafuri made that error, it was the first one there. That is a captain. That's a leader. That's a leader right there. Long and short, that is a leader right there. I love see, Arteta, I don't know how you're going to do it because now it looks like we're going to be playing every 2 games per week or 3 games per week. We're playing every midweek. We've been playing midweek fixtures at the beginning of the year. Someone like Declan Rice, you want to manage his minutes. You want to make sure that when those tough fixtures start coming in, the Carabao final, those Champions League knockout stages, the deep end of the season, you need someone like Declan Rice fit. You need Declan Rice fit. So I don't know how you're going to do it. I think the game against Brentford, if you can give him a well-deserved rest, I think Nogard and Zubimendi can do a very good job for that game, right? Because see, we run the risk of running this guy to the ground, and that's one thing I do not want to see. If Declan Rice goes down, I'm afraid our season might start to look shaky. We need to protect that guy at all costs. That being said, I think everyone else did well. Madueke, I mean, he could have done so much better. But I'm not even going to lie. Saka's boots are too huge for anyone to fill in. He did well against Leeds. His performance kind of dropped today, so I'm not going to weigh in heavily on him. It's going to take some time for him to get in the groove. It's going to take some time for him to get in the groove and build his confidence back home. I think Saka being out of the side gives him the opportunity to play the next 4 or 5 games, and gain that confidence and that full fitness back. And hopefully when Saka comes back, we don't really feel the need to rush him in. I heard that he's targeting the North London derby. But anyways, I mean, there's really not more to say. We kept a very good clean sheet. Raya was hardly tested. Sunderland, they're just physical. I think the absence of Granit Xhaka also did not help them so much. But I don't think if he played, it was going to make a lot of difference. I think we really took charge of this game. We took the game to them, and we were, very much more in control of the game in general. Onwards, we look onwards now. The Brentford game at I forgot the name of their stadium right now, but it's away at Brentford. I think we might see a slightly rotated squad. I think that we have more than enough to see the game off and win that game. All attention turns now to the game tomorrow between Liverpool and Manchester City. And it's slots. Don't disappoint us. And it's slots. See, you have to get that Champions League slot though. Liverpool fans, this is your chance to show Man City that you have you know what I'm saying. But it's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to enjoy the game tomorrow because the pressure is not actually even on us. So it's going to be a very interesting game for all Arsenal fans. So Arsenal fans, just sit back, enjoy the game. We are, getting we're gaining form at the right time. We're in February, March, April. We know that's when it gets tough, and we're getting form at the right time. And I think our next couple of fixtures are easy fixture or relatively easy fixtures that can help us gain that momentum into those difficult fixtures at the tail end of the season, the Carabao Cup final, the Champions League knockout stages, and we can use that to slow down and win as many titles that we have in front of us. So, anyways, yeah, if you made it this far to the end of to this far in this podcast or in this episode, please subscribe again. I beg. If you're not an Arsenal fan, I know say you the vex. No vex, I beg. Subscribe, right? Your It's Watch didn't it wasn't successful today. You live to it watch another day. There's always another day to it watch. I beg. So please also drop your comments, like, and I'll see you in the next episode. I remain your host, Ikezy, and this is me saying bye bye. Peace.